James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to teach you how to play Free Fallin' by the late great Tom Petty. Now, to play this song, we're going to need to put a capo on the 3rd fret, so do that right now. Just get your capo nice and close to the fret, and remember to tune your guitar afterwards because it'll always go slightly out of tune when you put a capo on there. And if you want to play this without a capo, it uses 3 bar chords. I'll quickly show you those afterwards, but to begin, we're just going to jump right in to the chord shapes, which are all super easy, just D, G, and A. And if you need any extra help with those, please check out our ebook on rhythm guitar. It's free to all of our subscribers. There's a link down below, and that goes over all the fundamentals of rhythm guitar, from strumming, chords, chord progressions, practicing chord switching, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Anyways, the first chord is a D chord. And for the D chord, avoid hitting the lower 2 strings. Then we have a G chord. And you may have noticed that when I switch from D to G, I leave my 3rd finger down. That's really important. You gotta leave that finger down. It saves you time. It makes the switch way quicker, way easier. So I have a D chord, I leave that finger down, boom, got my G chord. And then finally, we need an A chord. So for the A chord, avoid hitting the lowest string. And in this tune, we're going to be switching from D to A pretty quickly. So let's just take a look at that and see if we can find a really efficient way to switch between those 2 chords. We're going to be on a D chord. And to switch to A, I do it in 2 steps. First, I remove these 2 fingers, my 1st and 2nd finger. So all I have is my 3rd finger down. Then I slide it down to the 2nd fret. And then I add these 2 fingers to where they belong on the A chord. So let's go through that one more time. I'm on the D chord, remove, slide, add. Just try that a couple times. Remove, slide, add. Remove, slide, add. So now that we know the chord shapes, let's take a look at the chord order. And before we jump right in and start strumming, we have to count out a few of the changes because they switch chords in the middle of a measure. It's not like it usually is where there's like 4 beats of D, then 4 beats of G, 4 beats of this, 4 beats of that. In this one, we're changing in the middle of the bar. So the first one isn't too bad. We start out on our D chord and we go 1, 2, 3, G on beat 4. And then we strum a measure of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that one more time. D, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one, we're going to go from G to D almost right away. And then we're going to switch to A on beat 4. I'll show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a measure of A. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this one, let's do it again. G, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So take your time with that because once you get this, you have the entire tune. All we got to do is just add a strumming pattern to it, make it a bit fancier than downstrokes only, and that's all there is to it. So let's actually practice going through it. Downstrokes only, really simple, starting out on that D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple more times. So now that we've trained up our chord hand and we're going to be holding the right chord shapes at the right time, let's take a look at the strumming pattern. It goes like this. And then if we do it over the other chord shapes, exact same pattern. So the first half of the strumming pattern goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's not too bad. We do 2 strums on D, then we switch to G, and we hit G on beat 4, which we've already practiced. So let's take a look at that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first half of the pattern, and now we're on the G chord. The second half of the pattern goes like this. And we're actually going to break that down as well into 2 parts. So the first bit is, all I'm playing there is miss, up, down, down. So I'm missing all the strings on beat 1. 1 and 2, 3. Miss, up, down, down. Just try that a few times. Just miss, up, down, down. Miss, up, down, down. And then all we have to do is add a down up at the end of it. So when we put that all together, miss, up, down, 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 up. And now we're going to assemble the whole thing, starting out on the D chord. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. So work that out bit by bit, nice and slow. Remember to count it out, and once you can get it over the D to G, practice it on the next part where we go. It's the exact same pattern, just the chords are a bit different. So we start out 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and. So it's the same thing, except the chords are a bit different. And then once you can do those each separately, we can practice putting it all together nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you can play the whole tune just like that, but if you want to do something a little more active during the chorus, just to make it a little bit bigger, we can add a couple strokes to our strumming pattern just to kind of fill it out a bit more. It'll go like this. And that's almost the same as before, except we've made a little alteration in the first half. So before we were doing this, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm doing this. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm just adding a couple extra strokes. Let's count it out nice and slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we still change to the G at the same time, just playing a few extra strokes. One more time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then the rest of the pattern is exactly the same. So just work that out nice and slow, and you can do that over the chorus to make it a little bit more active, a little more exciting. And for those of you who don't have a capo or who are interested in challenging yourself and want to play this with bar chords, I'll show you the chords that we're going to need for that version of the tune. First, we need an F chord. That's our home chord. We're playing F instead of D. So we make our bar chord like that. And I've actually made a 3-part series that covers how to play bar chords efficiently and effectively, how to build up that finger strength, how to avoid injury. So check that out if you need any extra help with this F chord or this next one, B flat. So the B flat chord actually comes from the A shape. We just play the A shape with this finger, go up 1 fret, and you don't really need to get the highest string. I mean, you can if you really push hard, but that's totally fine. So we have F, B flat, and then a C chord, just a plain old C chord. And if I do this with the strumming pattern, now to make those switches really quick, I recommend rolling your 3rd finger. See how I'm playing my F chord? Then I roll my 3rd finger down to get to that B flat, and then I roll it back up. So kind of practice that. You have to put it in the perfect spot or else you won't roll to the right spot. But if you can work it, you can switch really quick between those chords. And then switching from F to C, I just leave my 3rd finger down. So try those 2 things, rolling the 3rd finger to the B flat chord, and then keeping your 3rd finger down when you switch to C, and that'll help you out with getting these bar chord shapes. So that's how you play Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, and normally I don't release a lesson right after someone dies, to try to get a bunch of views or whatever. I really don't want it to look that way, because that's not it. I just want to put a lesson out there that'll help people learn how to play the songs of one of my favorite artists. Tom Petty is one of my heroes, and I feel that by sharing how to play his songs and we're helping him live on, so hopefully you practice really hard and you learn this song right, make Tom Petty proud. Just do a good job on this one. I'll see you next time.